Let's bring in our next guest, RNC National Spokesperson Liz Harrington. Great to see you, Liz.
Good to see you.
Okay, this story is now gaining ground. It has major implications for the 2020 race. Growing evidence that supports the claims of Tara Reid, who accuses Joe Biden of sexual assault in the early 90s. Two women, a work colleague and a neighbor, now say Tara Reid did tell them about the sexual assault allegations by Joe Biden around the time that it happened. Tara Reid has also filed an incident report against Joe Biden with police in Washington, and a new clip shows Tara Reid's mother calling into the Larry King show in 1993 asking for advice on what to do about this at the time. Your reaction to all of this?
The hypocrisy by the mainstream media and Democrats is stunning because there are two very different standards at play. If you're a Republican, no matter if there's no corroborating evidence against you, you'll be treated as guilty, your name dragged through the mud, and they'll never stop talking about it for 24 hours, even if they never prove it. If you're a Democrat, not only if you have a credible allegation against you, not only will you be treated as innocent, they'll act as if the allegation doesn't exist. And that's what's the stunning thing. The Sunday shows there were zero mentions of this new credible evidence. Because remember, in the case of Brett Kavanaugh, there was never even evidence that he had ever even met Christine Blasey Ford. On its face, Joe Biden, Tara Reid worked for him. And now you have 5 people that have come forward to say that she had the same story at the time. On its face, it is credible and more credible than ever was a case against Brett Kavanaugh.
Yeah, before I get to the silence of the Democrats, Tara Reid, late this afternoon today, stay on the DNC story for just a second. Don't move the script because I got to get to this. Tara Reid, Liz, is now saying, I want the Biden library to release all of Biden's staff records when he was senator for 36 years. Tara Reid is saying it will show her complaint against Biden, the reason why she left and stopped working for him, and potentially also will show other potential complaints against Joe Biden. That's what Tara Reid is now saying. Your reaction to that breaking story?
Again, what is the standard? Applied to Republicans, you say, well, if you have nothing to hide, release the transcripts, have an FBI investigation. Let's investigate a house party when you don't even know the location or the year that it happened. And they did that. They investigated it. If it's a Democrat and there are records, why won't Joe Biden release them if he says his campaign, of course, he hasn't been asked by the mainstream media, if his campaign says this never happened? The public deserves to weigh these allegations. People deserved to be treated as innocent until proven guilty. But the real problem here is the media is not even asking the question and presenting the public with the facts.
Yeah, the silence of the Democrats. Nancy Pelosi not saying anything. Jerry Nadler, Adam Schiff, Chuck Schumer staying silent about these allegations. The Democrat National Committee Chair Tom Perez is also staying silent. He said, Tom Perez, in December 2017, that any candidate or elected official who was engaged in sexual misconduct should step aside. Let's listen to what Tara Reid, watch what Tara Reid is saying in an interview with Fox News. Quote, I'd like my history with Biden to be examined in a dignified way that's not slanted by political bias or sensationalized. I'd like a deeper conversation about the fact that sexual harassment and sexual assault do not have a political party. It's not about agenda. It's an equal opportunity offender. There are Democrat offenders as well as Republican offenders, and I'm sure independent and Green Party offenders as well. I've basically had no substantive support from women's groups that are considered liberal or Democratic. I've had no support from any Democrat candidate. Although I've reached out and I've received either slanted reporting that ended up being talking points for Biden's campaign or silence from the mainstream media. So that's my contention, my concern. Your reaction?
Well, maybe it's no coincidence that on the same day that all of this new corroborating evidence is coming out to support a woman's accusation against Joe Biden, he's on the phone and doing a live stream with Hillary Clinton whose record is very clear on the subject of believing women and trying to sabotage their names, who've accused her husband. I also want to remind your viewers, remember what Senator Mazie Hirono said during the Brett Kavanaugh affair. She said, it's time for men to shut up. Well, now all the Democrats are shutting up, aren't they? And they're completely silent about what, on its face, has a lot more credibility than any of the allegations against Brett Kavanaugh, which were absurd on their face.
Also the women who were talked about as being Biden's choice for vice president. Listen to Kamala Harris saying I think she said this last year. Team, check me on this. Kamala Harris did say last year she does believe Biden's accusers. Watch Kamala Harris on Joe Biden. Listen.
I believe them, and I respect them being able to tell their story and having the courage to do it.
Do you believe that the vice president should enter this race?
Oh, he's going to have to make that decision for himself. I wouldn't tell him what to do.
What do you think of that, Liz? Your final word?
Well, now that it's clear that Biden is the presumptive nominee, it'll be interesting to see if Kamala Harris still holds that position with this allegation, because proximity to power certainly seems like that plays a lot more than to getting to the bottom of the truth of the matter for Democrats. And that's why they refuse to call out this allegation, because it's only about power and politics. It's not about getting to the truth.
Yeah. And by the way, at that time in the early 90s, Joe Biden was chair of the powerful Senate Judiciary Committee. Remember, this was the early 90s was the days of Oregon Senator Bob Packwood, who quit before he was kicked out of the Senate for sexually harassing and assaulting women. I know this because I covered Washington at that time in the early 90s. Liz Harrington, thank you so much for your time. Come back soon.